It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Chiefs and the Silver and Black, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 24.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today we've got a fun little clash in the AFC, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, sixth-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
And how about this young man? Took the NFL world by storm. As a sixth-round rookie, signature mullet, mustache, but 21 touchdowns for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great personality, and everyone gravitates towards this guy. Teammates love to win with a quarterback who leads them like that, and fans love to root for a guy who seems just like them.
Minshew looking to throw it right off the bat. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Chris Jones breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on first down is Minshew. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Minshew. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A quick throw here out to Brown. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 65 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now here's Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Noah Gray. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are on the board first here in Vegas. And the QB rating right now sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the high
That's
mark.
the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Off play action, it's Minshew. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Minshew sets to throw. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's 3rd and 7. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And the Chiefs are going to get him. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Here's James returning. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to find his tight end, Gray, complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Mahomes now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. DeAndre Carter back deep. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They start the drive with Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Minshew. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. James now to return. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Pacheco once again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And here's Matt Ariza now. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Minshew. There's a short throw taken in by Bryant. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Here's Madison running on first down. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 9. Going to run with Madison again. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. That was Justin Reed, the safety, who got to the quarterback. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Let's go, man.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there, it was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This will be caught by Brown. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Mahomes again. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Well, Mahomes finding his burner Hardman for the KC first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Rice. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Mahomes to throw once more. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey from 13 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
On 1st down, Abdullah.
It's one play at a time.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Now Minshew. Oh, the slant connects with Devontae Adams. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. On play action, they'll throw. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 34.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun is Minshew. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the 1st half winds down.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Minshew sets to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
The kick by Carlson is good, and a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They go play fake. Mahomes. Open man right side is Rice. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
To throw, it's Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on 3rd down. Even better decision.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
They'll run here with Pacheco. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is up to 15 now.
Let's be smart. Let's play ball. They can't stop us.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Minshew's throw there complete to Myers. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire 4th remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 46. Here's Minshew. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. Fourth down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. That is caught, and he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on fourth. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them. Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Looking to throw it. Minshew. And that is incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. That ball caught. It's Rice. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, Mahomes. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Divine Diablo dropping him behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Now Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
I tell you what, if this is any quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes, I'm telling you how this is an ill-advised throw. But 15 is so good on the move with all those different arm angles and releases that all I'm saying now is that's a gorgeous play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Rice. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Mahomes to throw once more. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Mahomes now to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Now it's Mahomes again. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. Where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. Throwing on first down is Minshew. And that's complete to Adams.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. It'll be Minshew again.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 35, here's 2nd down at 7. Again, it's Pacheco.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. No gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And again, it's Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelce, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs add 6 to their lead. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere, they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns them there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time, the tight end gets them.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. DeAndre Carter returning it. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Minshew sets to throw. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Minshew. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
First target, first catch, and a first down. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle.
Minshew's throw there complete to Myers.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Again, Minshew looking to throw. He goes underneath to Abdullah. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On second down, this is Madison. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. They'll try to throw for it with Minshew.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now Minshew. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers from 6 yards away.
And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun. Down to about the 37.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
2nd down and 8. A handoff now for Pacheco.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Here's 3rd and 3. They'll try for the first with Pacheco.
There he goes left side. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL